And a warm welcome from the Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Just about ready to go for some Bradley hockey as the D3 Braves get ready to take on the Butler Bulldogs alongside Mitch Kaminski. I'm Matt Harrington. Mitch, Bradley D3 has won 3 out of 4 games here over the last handful or so of games, and they're trending in the right direction, including a split with Illinois State last weekend. So we'll see if they can maybe keep it up here this evening.
Yeah, big win against their I-74 rivals, so momentum is high. You know, you can tell this team's starting to play with some confidence, and that's good coming into a tricky road environment like this.
Butler, meanwhile, 2 of their 3 wins this season have come against Bradley. That was back in September. Meanwhile, they're going to have a few players, Thews, Bain, and Kem, all out with injuries, so they'll be shorthanded tonight as well.
Little banged up, most teams are this time of year, so that's only normal. But back at home, they seem to have a lot of success against Bradley the first weekend of the season. So, you know, maybe another matchup against them is just what they need to get back on track. So we'll see. I mean, so 2 teams kind of trending in the opposite direction right now, especially from when they first played earlier in the year. So we'll see what adjustments have been made for each side.
All right, let's take a look now at our keys to the game. What do you have for us, Mitch?
All right, so for Bradley, short shifts, you know, they're a little short-handed today, numbers-wise. A couple players are out for them. So short shifts, long bus ride this morning, had to get up early, avoid the jet lag, so to speak. I guess bus lag would be the correct term for it. But, you know, you don't want to be groggy, especially in the opening game here. Come out flying. Meanwhile, Butler, we got shake off the rust. It's been a while since they have played, so while Bradley's coming off a long bus ride, they're coming off a long layoff, so definitely want to make sure you keep sharp. And then lean on Howie.
Their goaltender, yes, Howie, who's been so good for them this year.
Yeah, he's been a stud all year for them, so obviously you can't be relying on him to bail you out too much, but he's been the key to their success. When he's playing well, the Bulldogs usually follow suit.
We will see who wins. We've got a pretty good crowd here for a late afternoon game here in Indianapolis, and of course we're bringing this game to you on demand because of some internet issues that we've had here at the Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion, and we'll have to do the same tomorrow. But regardless, we're glad you could join us here on demand. So again, Bradley and Butler coming up here in just a few moments in Indianapolis. We'll have the national anthem and puck drop next. Back here in Indianapolis, just about ready to go for puck drop between these teams, as we'll take a look at the starting goaltenders for today's contest. For Bradley, they will be going with Chris Mazurek, who has had some really good games this year for the Bradley Braves. Chris Mazurek has, and in fact, he had 71 saves a few weeks ago against the Marion Sabres. That was a big win for Marion, despite the fact that Mazurek played very well. And we'll see what he can do in net here tonight, Mitch, for Bradley.
Yeah, right in the hot hand with Missouri. Coming off a good stretch, might as well plug him right back into play here. And then for Butler, it's Howie, as we were talking about earlier. So Butler is a team that they struggle to find their rhythm as of late. So definitely going to need a big game out of him to get back on track and back in the win column.
And there you see the starting goaltender for Butler, Spencer Howie. And again, Howie's been terrific all season long, as we've mentioned. So just about ready to go here in Indianapolis, as I seem to have lost my roster for Butler, but all good as we are underway here in Indianapolis between these two teams, the third meeting of the year between Bradley and Butler. Physical play in the corner as it's taken up along the wall by the Bulldogs as they'll shove it down low. No ice mic tonight as the officials have other plans, Mitch, as they decided to rip it away from us pregame.
I can tell you're still very salty.
I am bitter. I am very bitter about the no ice mic. And so we'll see. I believe we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Butler as the official has his arm up. This will go back behind the Bulldog net and be touched. And we are indeed going to have our first penalty of this hockey game just a few seconds in.
Well,
this will be against the Bulldogs.
Brutal start at home, and all of a sudden you find yourself short-handed, not even a minute into the game. So good chance for Bradley here. Let's see if they can capitalize, or at least set up something to try and build some sort of momentum.
That one's on Dylan Paulsell, who's got 2 assists on the year. And a tripping minor less than a minute in this game will give the Braves their first power play chance. Braves power play has been up and down this year. It's had some good swings, but also some bad swings as well. We'll see what they can do here. Daniels with it. Still swivel it behind the net here for Mitch Regal. Back to Daniels. And back up top for Baker, who plays catch with Daniels. Interrupted. Now a long shot from the point is going to deflect our way, but still stay in play. Ref saying, or one of the Butler players was saying it went off the netting. Referee did not think so, so Butler will clear it down. 1:30 to go on the power play for the Braves as they continue to work towards the offensive zone. Across the line here is Jared Honda. Honda's had a plethora of injuries the last couple weeks, but good to see he is on the ice for today's game. Here's Daniels now, circling the net. Daniels trying to get it up towards the front, whacking away. Gousset sweeps at it and goes over for Daniels, and now Honda. Here's Honda through the crease. Gousset loads it up, scores! Power play goal for Jacob Gousset, and the Braves strike first. It's 1-0.
Well, Gousset able to find a nice area in the defense, soft spot, gets himself in a good position and lets her rip, finds Twine, and Bradley capitalizing on the power play early, which we like to see. As you mentioned, inconsistent power play at times, but very good setup there. Just how you drew it up, if you're the Braves.
Well, Gousset, not typically known as a goal scorer, but he gets a big goal there. And I know some of the guys on the bus were talking about maybe seeing Gousset get a goal tonight, and he does so right there. So a good start for Bradley as they strike first here. And keep in mind that in the first game that these teams played this year, all the way back on September 10th, Bradley only had 1 goal the entire game, and then Butler scored 8 for the win.
Yeah, and that game really wasn't as close as the final score indicated there. It was 8-1, but might as well have been. It was a very lopsided affair.
Definitely Butler was the better team that game. Here's a dump in here from Whitelaw.
You know, the funny thing about that is Bradley came out the next day, and they fell behind quickly 3-0. And they came out in the third period and really rallied, and they made a game out of it. Brought it to within 1 goal at one point, made it 4-3 late in the third, and then let it slip away from them. But they're more evenly matched than you think, especially looking at the first score of the first time these two teams matched up.
Puck down low in the offensive zone for Butler. It will come out through center where it's handled by Popov. And now off another stick here at center. Finally gathered in by the Braves. So I see the Butler Bulldog mascot is in the house here tonight. Maybe next stoppage of play, Mitch, you can pan the camera over there. Bradley back to get it in the defensive end. This one jumps up and offside. Or actually, yes, I believe offside. And now we'll get a look at the Butler Bulldog mascot right there as Mitch turns the camera. He's a big fella. He's got to be at least, what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, he looks about the size of, who is it? Popoff, I believe? Or Barney.
Yes,
okay,
Nathan Barney.
It's the old 7-footer.
off the face-off here.
That Bulldog's at least a solid 6'5".
Oh, easily. Very tall. And it's always good to see the mascot out at events like this. Braves pick it up in the neutral zone here as Cornell and Hamill will play catch. Down below the Bradley goal, Mazurek waiting for an opportunity to develop for him. And now quickly handled by Daniels. Butler with possession, long pass, hops off the stick of Boltema into the offensive zone. He's their leading scorer. He's got 6 goals and 8 points for the Bulldogs so far this year. Now up top, long wrist shot deflects. That goes off the body of Hamill and in front of Mazurek as it's played up to the boards. And played right at the line here by the Bulldogs. Again, early on, you start to see, Mitch, maybe a little bit of a pushback here from Butler after giving up that power play goal.
Yeah, I think it was a wake-up call for him, too. And it's an interesting situation between the two teams because you got Bradley, who's coming off a long road trip. Obviously, you have to wake up early, long bus ride. Not ideal. Sometimes you come out flat. And then you got another team that just, at home, they just haven't been playing for a while, so you get some rush build up. And I think that was kind of the kick in the pants they needed, like the wake-up call. Like, all right, now, you know, time to put our foot on the gas here, so to speak.
15:33 remaining in the first. Braves into the offensive zone again. Here's Gavin Menk trying to work his way through the traffic as he absorbs the contact there. Whoa, the stick goes all the way up into the ceiling there of Gavin Menk. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That had some hang time.
Holy moly. So right into the Bradley bench. I mean, that thing must have gone at least 30 feet into the air, 40 maybe.
Yeah, that was dangerously close to hitting a light fixture or something because it was up there. It looked like a major league fly ball, if you will.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to get hurt, too. Those composite sticks can be a pain if you're able to get hit by one somehow.
Well, usually, you know, playing hockey, getting hit with a stick comes with the territory, but usually not out of the sky. That's a whole new aerial attack. Jeez.
Here's a chance for the Braves down low as they'll work it out of the zone. Fired in deep by Ethan Rich, who takes the contact, and dropped behind the net by Howie. Bulldogs breaking it free here as they come into the zone. Here's Luke Bentley. Slowed up a bit at the line. Paul Sell in there as well as it will roll to Mazurek. We'll chop it up the wall here for the Braves. Now backhanded in deep. Bradley after it as they will chop it below the goal line or at least into the offensive zone. Long pass from Nutkovich, unable to find Popov as it's swung over here by Mitch Riegel. Handcuffed a bit was Whitelaw. Quick wrister in on goal. Mazurek the save. Big hit behind the net. That puck's still loose. Here's Keegan Donzie, and now moved out by Ethan Baker, the big, strong forward for the Bradley Braves. Baker getting physical there. Daniels in to help out as well. As here's Baker. Across the line, a wrist shot sails over the top of the net. And into the neutral zone it comes as Bradley will change up that defensive unit. Baker, one-touch pass for Honda. Honda tripped up. No penalty called. We'll keep playing on.
Good no call there. He was playing the puck on that, didn't get enough of them, and I think Honda kind of went down a little easily there trying to sell that call. But
here's Molinaro now for Butler. Tosses it up for grabs at center ice, and now Hamill will slow the parade here. Hamill right in on goal. Howie the save. Rebound is going to be handled by Howie as Mink was right in to try and make some havoc there for Bradley.
Well, it was interesting before the game. There was a lot of players in the coaching staff for Bradley, too, groveling, if you will, about the ice service here. So it'll be interesting to watch. It is kind of uneven at some points, and Zamboni did not go over it pregame. So that's going to be something to monitor as the game goes along, how this ice holds up and just the puck bounces in general, because it is there's definitely certain spots on here. When you're walking around, it's not the most even surfaces in some spots.
No, it is certainly not, and that's, of course, it's an injury risk for the player. Certainly if you catch a bad piece of ice, it could result in an injury. So definitely some well-noted concerns from both sides.
And just funny, just trying to pass it too, a funny puck hop or whatnot.
Long shot through traffic, couldn't get through the sea of red. So here's Garrett Hamill into the zone for Bradley, flips it up off the glass. And the big, tall Nathan Barney looks like he's on stilts out there for Butler.
He's looking down on giraffes on those things.
Here's Halligan now into the zone. Takes a big hit behind the net from Garrett Hamill, who supplies the pressure there. Now Braves move forward. Gavin Menk clawing his way through center as he'll chop it deep. He'll come off for a change. Now Butler on it. Riondo. And now Paulsell right up in front of us here as Daniels will play it up ahead. Here's Bentley weaving his way through. Now taken around the outside by Molinaro. And up ahead comes Bradley again. This is Daniels into the zone. Tripped up there. And that one looked like a
valid trip. Yep.
Yes, that one looked like the stick got in on Daniels, but no call. We'll keep playing on. Now moved out forcefully by Agnew as he comes through center. Agnew across the line. Follows it into the corner. Throws to a teammate. Wrist shot over the top as it's kept in by Bentley. Loads it up. And it trickles wide as Mazurek had to use the stick there to fish it to the corner. Off of Honda as he battles here with a couple of Bulldogs. Hard to see from the far end of the arena with the beige and white numbers for Butler. Interesting jersey design choice.
They are. It's almost, yeah, it's hard to explain that color. It's kind of like a Desert Storm-esque camo look, minus the blue, but unique-looking jerseys, that is for sure.
Certainly. We'll see if those jerseys have any luck in getting Butler back into this game here, down 1-0 with 11:10 to go in this first period of play. Again, a power play goal from Jacob Gousset, who's had a nice little run as of late for Bradley. And that was back just 2 minutes into the game. Now Riondo trying to play it here for Bradley as it's shoveled in deep. Cornell after it as it's held on to up along the boards. Rich on it for Bradley. Gavin Menk also out there as well for the Braves, 3-33. And Butler will take a hold of it down low in the corner. Mitch Regal applying the pressure. And still up for grabs as it comes around to the other side for Brennan Cornell. Cornell able to find Gavin Menk. This is the last weekend of Gavin Menk's Bradley career. He'll be graduating here in a couple weeks. So last 2 games in a Bradley uniform for him. Patsy Mazurek, and the rebound is cleared. Dangerous looking chance there, but Bradley able to force it out.
That was their first very good look of the game. Bradley defense has been doing a nice job not letting them work their way into the slot for the most part, but Butler able to slip past one there and get a pretty good look out of it.
Quick moves in, they score! Oh my. Couldn't tell the number, perhaps Evan Halligan there for Butler, but we've got a 1-1 hockey game here in the first.
That was an absolutely filthy move right there. Not much you can do. He undressed the goaltender on that one. Nice move and ties the game at 1 apiece.
That is Evan Halligan, by the way, and for those unfamiliar with the Butler roster, he's just a freshman, and he has been a big contributor to this team. He's second on the team in points entering today's contest, and that's a big goal. Looking for more, they score! Oh my, what a response from Butler. It's 2-1 as they mob each other behind the net.
Wow, when it rains, it pours. I mean, Bradley, that can't happen. I mean, that's just the defensive lapse coming right off of a goal. He was able to walk right in, and it was a well-placed shot, but a little bit too easy for Butler there, and now they have all the momentum. So you're Bradley, you got to come up with a response and fairly quickly. Well,
both goals by Halligan, and head coach for Bradley, Chase Sisk, is not happy because it looked like Halligan was taunting the Bradley bench, or at least motioning towards them after the celebration. and I think he wants a penalty here for unsportsmanlike conduct. I saw it. It certainly looked like Halligan was gesturing towards the Bradley bench. So we'll see if we get anything here, but if not, certainly something to keep an eye on moving forward.
I think the key is going to be if he said anything.
Yes.
If he said anything, then he's probably crossing the line into more of a taunting scenario, so then you can see it being a penalty. But I think just for the gesture, then there's probably not a whole lot of ground for penalty. But we'll wait and see.
My guess is the referees are going to say, hey, let's knock it off and move forward. I mean, certainly he has a right to celebrate. I mean, he just scored 2 goals in about 10 seconds. But certainly a worthy celebration. But nonetheless, Butler now has managed to go from down 1 to up 1 here in a matter of about 15 seconds or so.
You know what? If you're Bradley, too, maybe that is what sparks you. All of a sudden, you got a guy chirping from the bench, and maybe that's what they need to light a fire under him because, outside that power play, it's really been – the ice has been tilted to Butler's end. And Butler hasn't been able to get a ton of quality looks out of it, but they're winning the puck possession game. So Bradley got to get it in deep in their end some way, somehow, and build from there.
This one goes off a body. 9:30 to go here in the first. Still a 2-1 lead for Butler, and I'll get that fixed here on the scoreboard as I incorrectly had it as Bradley up 2-1. It is Butler up 2-1. This one cleared down the length of the ice as Howie will let it go for icing with 9:14 to go.
Well, for a team that we've already talked about that's missing a couple guys, icing is not the most sustainable strategy because, you got tired guys as it is. They need short shifts, and they've been on here a while now, second consecutive icing, and that's just prolongs the process here. So you're Bradley, you're going to find other ways to get it out because you got to make some changes quick, and forcing guys to stay on the ice with, sloppy mistakes is not a good recipe.
Yeah, several players out for Bradley this weekend. Caleb Berger, Jackson Laney among those. Some are injured, some are in COVID protocol, and so lots of different reasons, but Bradley just going to have to work with what they have here in Indianapolis.
I mean, that's usually how it goes for these road trips, too.
Big pressure down below the Bradley goal line as Gousset tries to hit it there. Butler able to cycle it back in deep. Play behind the net, pops out front. Mazurek waiting for it. Knocked down to the ice on a big hit there by Garrett Hamill. Here's Hamill. He'll find Baker along the right wing boards. And moved up the ice for Daniels, who chops it in and avoids most of the hit. Howie will leave it here for Rory Nutkovich. And now up through center as it's corralled by the Braves. Now here's Mitch Riegel. Big hit thrown along the boards. Paul Sell after it, turned it over to Menk. In there is Molinaro trying to find David Crawford, who's wearing the jersey of Aaron Goldstein for Bradley, number 91. This is David Crawford. Now Crawford will play it up the boards as he gets hit pretty hard. Puck comes free and fired right back into the zone. 7:42 to go in the first. Big windup, and that's broken up by Menk. And ahead it goes for Ethan Rich. Shoots off the mask of Howie. Rebound to the boards as maybe a bit of a miscommunication there between Whitelaw and Riegel. They'll both have to go back for Bradley. Now wrist shot along the left wing side. I believe that goes out of play for a stoppage with 7:20 to go in the first.
Nice block shot by Mink there, turning defensive into offense. Bradley starts skating out in transition, able to get a slight odd man rush there, and their first shot in a while to test Howie. But that can be difficult for a goalie sometimes too. If you're sitting there for a while and you haven't been tested, it's very easy to lose focus. So good to see he's still engaged down at this end.
Hamill will swing it to the other side. Puck comes free for Zach Daniels, one of the leading scorers on this team. Here's Daniels with speed. Across, broken up. Good stick work there from Cameron Duranick. Now Barney after it. Riondo out there as well for the Braves. Here's Hamill. He'll wind up. Good pad save from Spencer Howie. Baker trying to play it along the boards here for the Braves and picked off by Mitch Riegel. that's Brennan Cornell for Bradley. Barney swings it around to the right side. Good pressure from Riondo. Now here's Baker. Wrist shot, save. Daniels the rebound. Daniels, and that goes off the glass and out of the zone as it's forced out by the Bulldogs. Zach Daniels to pick it up here. 6:18 to go in the first. And a 2-1 lead for the home Butler Bulldogs after 2 goals in a span of about 12 seconds for the freshman Evan Halligan. Now Paul Sell up ahead. There's a big windup on the wrister. That goes off the glass and right out to the Bradley Braves in center as Rich throws the body. Brennan Cornell to track it down. Cornell spins away from trouble and holds on to it here with 5:40 to go. Goldstein working ahead, but Butler in there as well. Paul Sell. And penalty coming up against the Braves. That's going to go on Cornell in front of the net. Goalie comes to the bench for the extra attacker. Pad save Missouri. Still up in the air as the Bulldogs keep the zone. Good pressure and thrown wide of the net. Bulldogs still on it here, 6-on-5 with the extra attacker. Down goes Paul Sell as he's knocked to the ice. Braves trying to get a hold of it here in front of the net, and it's finally blown dead. But big shoving in front of the net there as Hamill was giving it to one of the Butler players, and we'll get everything sorted out here. But Butler's going to go on the power play here, Mitch, for the first time.
Yeah, they've already had their fair share of looks. Interesting to see what they're going to be able to do with the extra man up. And you're Bradley, you can't be taking penalties at this stage in the game when you're trailing and struggling to build any sort of momentum here. But this is going to be a big penalty kill for both these teams. This is one of those turning points in the game that you very well look back on. Because, Bradley, you kill it off. You're still one shot away from tying it in. You give up this power play goal. Now all of a sudden you've dug yourself in a 2-goal hole. So
we'll see what they can do on this penalty kill and power play for Butler as they work it across. Big shot, save Missouri. Up in the air, that goes into the netting, so we'll get a stoppage.
Nice job by Missouri getting over there laterally, quickly in position, and an easy save for him.
Penalty to Cornell was a high sticking minor, so still 1:49 to go on the kill for the Braves. The D2 team for Bradley is in action this weekend as well. They are down in the St. Louis area to take on the Maryville Saints. A couple of big conference games for the Braves that could go a long way in determining their seeding for the playoffs in February. Big save from Missouri off the windup there as we get another stoppage here.
And rebound control, which you appreciate there, especially on the power play. Extra body buzzing in front. I don't want any rebounds to pop out, so nice job by him absorbing that one.
Across, dropped up top for Molinaro. He'll swing it over. Butler, really good passing here on the power play. Molinaro from the top of the point is blocked. Picked up by Halligan on the left wing. Back up top for Molinaro. And Halligan, the one-timer, sticked away by Missouri as it's gathered in again by the Bulldogs. Still pressing here on the power play. Back to the point. Molinaro finds his man on the wing as Boltema picks it up. And back up top for Molinaro. Here's Molinaro, a drive right in on goal for Missouri, who got it right off the B on his chest.
Well, the previous save he made, he did a nice job seeing through traffic because there was a couple people in front screening him, a couple Bradley players trying to block the shot, and he saw it all the way through, able to turn that aside, and then that one, once again, a little bit easier, much more clear shooting lane. But couple nice saves. He's doing a good job killing off this power play.
Missouri again made 71 saves a couple weekends ago when the Marion Sabres were in town. And stopped 71 of 75 shots. Bradley was outshot 75-15, and they only lost 4-3. So he's certainly a very strong option in net for the Braves as it's cleared down the ice by Zach Daniels with 38 seconds to go on the power play for Butler.
Hockey's a funny game sometimes. 75-15.
Yeah, it would have been an incredible win had Bradley been able to pull it out. Here's Nutkovich now. Leaves it across the line, gets his return feedback as he's stifled by Hamill. Nutkovich rolls it around the outside here. 3:23 remaining in the period. 8 seconds to go on the power play. Long shot from the point. They score! Looks like it got a redirect in front on the shot from Cameron Duranek. A power play goal. And Butler has a 3-1 lead.
That is so frustrating. You know, you're doing everything right, all power play, and with 3 seconds left in the penalty, you cough up a goal. So I know, definitely frustrating for Bradley, and now it's a critical stage in this one because they've just scored 3 unanswered goals.
That might have bounced off a Bradley player in front of the net because Duranek is still going to get credit for that goal. So tough bounce there.
It definitely changed directions. And I'm guessing you're right. If he's still getting credit for it, it probably did hit a Bradley leg.
Boy, Butler's still on it here. Seems like they're almost still on the power play, but they're not.
Their passing's been so crisp early on.
That deflects wide. Daniels trying to race to it here with Honda. Chance in front. Good play, and they're going to get a penalty here on the Braves for a trip. Wasn't sure if that was going to be a penalty or not, but a Butler player went down, and we get another power play for the Bulldogs.
Was the stick caught there? Yes. I mean, I don't know. He kind of folded like a cheap tent right there. So I'm not calling him a liar, but he might have a future in acting. We'll say that.
Well, that penalty's on Brennan Cornell again, and he was the one that was just in the box a minute ago on the goal that resulted, or in the power play that resulted in a goal.
He must have enjoyed his stay.
He's got his 4 minutes now already on the box for Cornell, but we'll see if he can come out unscathed here with a 3-1 Butler lead. 2:20 to go in the period.
Well, I know as a player, this is a scenario you're just praying that they don't give up a goal because
blocker save there from Mazurek as it was up in the air. Now Gavin Menk will clear it down.
Yeah, you don't want to be responsible for 2 penalties that result in goals, so I know he's definitely he's sweating it out for this last minute 15 remaining on the penalty.
Paul Sell connects with Molinaro, and Howie will have to come out and leave it here for Duranek. Again, Duranek the goal a moment ago for Butler. That gave them a 3-1 lead, a power play goal as well for Butler. And into the zone come the Bulldogs. Slowed down, brought back to the line. Cross it goes. Wrist shot from the big-bodied Nathan Barney goes off the glass. And now up to the point. Another wrist shot here. Again off the glass as it rolls over to the other side for Dylan Paulsell. Gets it back. Paulsell across. Duranek shoots, and that's held on to nicely by Mazurek.
Their passing has been very impressive, tape to tape, and they're really snapping them off. It makes it difficult as a goalie, too, because he's keeping you on your toes, just making a move laterally. It's always tough to begin with. And as we mentioned, this ice surface isn't great, which makes it even more impressive because they've been sharp early on passing.
1:11 to go in the period, 25 seconds to go on the Brennan Cornell tripping minor for Bradley as Daniels will pick it up here and try and get around the defense. Daniels, 1-on-3 here into the zone, and Duranek on it for Butler as he pushes it ahead for Popov. Here's Popov, fanned on it, still trying to follow it up here. Look out, it's in front of Mazurek, and now Baker will take it here for Bradley as he airmails this thing all the way down. Bounces off the boards as Barney will pick it up and find a teammate, but now Honda back for Hamill. Cornell out of the box, and hopefully for Bradley's sake, he can stay out of it here moving forward. Now Hamill up ahead for Ethan Baker. Bobbled it a bit on the pass as it's fired in by Nutkovich. 20 to go in the period. Now Cornell banks it up at the boards for Daniels. And Zach Daniels flips it up through center. and it will be taken hold of by Popov, who will chip it deep. Hamill with 5 seconds to play. They'll just hold on to it here, and that's how this first period is going to come to an end. But 3 unanswered goals for the Butler Bulldogs, one of them on the power play, and 2 of them from the freshman Evan Halligan are the difference right now, Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, you take away that power play for Bradley, and they really weren't able to get anything going of note. I believe they're in the single digits shot-wise still at this point, too. So how he's a good enough goalie as it is, you got to test him a little bit more.
Hang on 1 second. All right, so we'll take a first intermission break. Butler 3, Bradley 1 here on the Bradley Hockey Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes for period number 2. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Second period about to get underway here between the Bradley Braves and the Butler Bulldogs. A very good first period for Butler. They gave up the first goal of the game, but they responded with 3 unanswered, Mitch, and a very good effort so far from them, including 2 goals from Evan Halligan.
Yeah, Halligan had a really nice move on his first goal, and, you know, the penalties has kind of killed Bradley in that period. 2 power play goals, or 1 power play goal, I should say, and then after that, they had another opportunity. But they were shorthanded a decent amount, and they just didn't get a whole lot of chances. If I'm Bradley, I really want to see him ramp up the physicality. You know, you got to let Butler know you're here. They're a little bit too comfortable, I think, in the corners, too, trying to wear them down for tomorrow's game as well. But you got to start finishing your checks if you're Bradley, or just something to spark this team and build any sort of momentum.
We'll see what they can do, and me and you kind of touched on this a little bit as well in the first period, but it felt like Butler was on the power play for even more time than they actually were, just because of how well they moved the puck.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Bradley, I mean, it starts with dangerous chance right there, but it starts with you just got to get possession of the puck and get it in deep.
Butler on it here right at the line. We'll go back for Garrett Hamill, who takes a hit from Boltema. Now Boltema in front, rolling around Mazurek, able to steer it away as it goes up ahead for Daniels, and now Honda, who has it on the stick. Jared Honda into the zone, able to get it deep for the Braves. On it is Ethan Baker. Takes the contact and given up, unfortunately for him, as Daniels still works away for Bradley. You can tell the ice is still a little bit slick from the Zamboni during the intermission. Now Gousset up ahead, was looking for Daniels, instead taken a hold of by Butler. About a minute into the second period, still 3-1 lead. 2 goals from Evan Halligan right now are the difference for Butler as they have a multi-goal lead. Now Hamill with it. He'll backhand it up ahead for Zach Daniels. Daniels will retreat back into his own end. Gave it away at the blue line for Paul Sell, but quickly jumped on by Riondo, who hands it right over again.
Ill-advised pass right there. Braves kind of got away with one. That's a dangerous area to put the puck in the center of the ice like that.
Now Gousset leaves it off the boards for Riondo, and now Butler able to play it again here as they come into the zone. Hand it off, Gousset intercepts. Tell you what, despite the fact Bradley's down 3-1, Jacob Gousset has had a really good game for Bradley on both ends of the ice. He's got a goal and also making some good plays defensively for the Braves.
Yeah, he's been very engaged early on, which you like to see. And like you mentioned, on both ends as well. So
there's Ethan Rich hacking at it here for Bradley. Trying to track it down as he goes to apply the hit and gets taken down in the process by Rory Nutkovich. Big hit thrown from him. Now Cornell, look out. That was Duranic that went down right in front of the camera. And now Honda, glove down, trying to play it out of his zone as he'll wrap it around and send it to the other side for Garrett Hamill. Now Hamill for Rich, chopped back in as Cornell retrieves it. Bank pass, tipped in there by Honda to Baker at the line. Honda tried to play it again, but intercepted by Paul Sell, who charges up ahead. Here's Paul Sell, weaving his way through. Can't get the shot off. Deflects into the stick of Honda, who gets it to the line, but not out. Now Garrett Hamill able to ring it down the ice. This will be a icing against the Braves with 17:06 to go in the second, still 3-1 Butler.
Well, Bradley's just having problems entering their zone to begin with, so you wonder if you might try and switch up the strategy, try and dump it in and chase or something, but anything to just get it in their end. It's been an uphill climb for Bradley here offensively in the first early stages of this second period, a continuation from what we saw in the first.
Yeah, really not much sustained zone time at all. Look out, Honda gave it away in front, and is that in? No, it's not. Or maybe it is. No goal.
No goal. It definitely slid. Oh, did they?
They're calling it no goal. Boy, that looked like it almost, I mean, it was right there on the line.
It got through the 5-hole. Did it cross the line? I don't know. I think Cornell may have just saved a goal, though. He got his stick in there.
I think he recognized it was right under the skate.
It was dangerously close to the line. I bet that thing was right on the line, and that little push back. But it has to fully cross, so definitely no conclusive evidence that happened. So Braves may have caught a break right there.
Certainly. Big save, though, by Mazurk to keep this game at 3-1. Meanwhile, Honda on it again here as he swings it over for Regal, who's up ahead for Daniels. Now Honda ahead into the zone, trying to get a lane as he'll take it into the left corner. Out front for Daniels, who gets the shot off. Good kick save from Howie. That's really the first shot of the period for Bradley. Now Daniels knocked to the ice. Baker keeps it in. We'll swing it down low here as it's taken a hold of by Bradley again. And hang on, I think we're going to have a too many men on the ice penalty here against the Braves, I want to say. Referee was pointing towards the Bradley bench, and I think that's what we're going to get here.
Well, we'll wait and see if they can sort this out, but not ideal if you're Bradley. Already trying to scrounge up some ways for offense, and now you got to kill off another penalty here.
Yeah, that penalty is a too many men on the ice for Bradley. So, again, another power play chance, though, as you mentioned, Mitch, for Butler. We've seen how well they move the puck on it. We'll see that again here.
Well, still a lot of hockey to be played, but if you're Butler, this is your chance to really put your foot on Bradley's neck and press down hard here. Be a deflating goal for sure.
Up to the point. Butler on the power play here, 4 minutes into the period. The penalty time is not winding down on the scoreboard. Not sure why. Meanwhile, Mazurk scoops it up. So, again, it still says 2 minutes on the penalty clock, so a little mistake there in the box, but we'll get it all squared away.
I would hope so, because that's a good 10 seconds that ticked away.
At least 10.
Yeah, if that. Ref's going over now to try and sort it out.
I think what they'll do, too, is get him out exactly 2 minutes in, and it may not reflect on the scoreboard, but that's what will happen. Bradley will change up the penalty kill a little bit here.
Well, that's going to make it difficult now for Bradley communicating, because when you get to that 10-second mark, you usually get the goalie stick tap, and unless they're paying attention when that penalty started, now you don't get the luxury of doing it. And now the clock is starting to move, so.
Well, there's certainly less than the time is on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so Bradley's getting hosed out of 10 seconds if they don't correct that.
They may let him out 10 seconds early. That could happen as well. We'll see. Meanwhile, Butler trying to re-enter the zone as it goes for Brennan Cornell. Tape to tape, D to D for Hamill. We'll send that one all the way down. Boy, that thing had some hang time on it there. Good clear from the junior defenseman, Garrett Hamill. Now Butler ahead with speed. On the right wing side, here they come. Around the outside, here's Donzi. Holding on to it. Back up to the point. Long pass over for Nutkovich here. Still swinging across again, top of the point. Nutkovich, one-timer. Not much on it as it goes to the corner. Donzi picks it up. Left wing back to the point. Wrist shot through traffic. Good save by Mazurek to see through the bodies.
Really nice save, and you hit it on the head there. Traffic in front, able to track that puck really nicely by him, and it helps he's out on top of the crease as well, cutting down the angles and challenging the shooters here. So he's going to have to come up tall to keep his team in the game, and he's doing that so far in the second period.
Well, we've seen he can make big saves before. He'll need to do it here, though, again. Left wing side, into the slot, looking for a teammate. Across, off the post. Bultema nearly put it home. Now here's Bultema again. Time winding down on the power play for for Butler, rather, and that's held on to Missouri. Penalty time not winding again here, so a little confusion as to when Gavin Menk will come out of the box.
Well, I hope they get that sorted out, because something tells me Butler's they're going to get a couple extra seconds of penalty time here.
They very well could. Meanwhile, Paulsell hands it off at the line. Here's Halligan trying to swing it over as Honda's on it for the Braves. Down low for Butler as they hold on to it. Here's Mora back to the line. Butler setting up here on the power play. Saucer pass. Bradley at full strength, blocked in front. Paulsell trying to go for a teammate. Daniels intercepts it. And Menk out of the box now, so they'll get that penalty cleared at the next whistle. Dropped off at the line. That deflects and goes out of play for a stoppage with 13:56 to go in period 2.
Well, observation from that previous sequence before we had the whistle, Bradley's been kind of careless with the puck in front of their own end, and rewatching the last time these two teams played, Bradley, out of the 6 goals they gave up, 3 or 4 of those were because of turnovers, and a guy's unmarked and they have an easy goal. So, Bradley, you just clean up the turnovers and don't be careless with the puck in your own end, and, you make them earn it a little bit.
Bentley trying to get it here as he works with Ethan Rich. Now off the stick of Cornell as it's taken away. Butler continuing hard with that forecheck that they've had all game long. Back to the point. Here's a wrist shot. Save Missouri, rebound, fanned on there from Bentley. Hit a wide open net. Now Bentley, another try. That's blocked by Whitelaw, and he'll charge ahead here for the Braves to try and slow down the bleeding a bit here. Back the other way, 2-on-2 for Butler. Into the zone, that deflects wide of Missouri. Now a chance out front for Butler again. Good play by Cornell to stop that. Now Gavin Menk up in the air. Hamill bats it down with his glove and gets it out of the zone. Good play by him. That one goes off a stick. Hamill racing to it, and we'll have an icing here against Butler. That's a good break for Bradley as they'll finally get an offensive zone faceoff.
Fortuitous break for Bradley, and I don't know what it is. If it's just they lack that edge. They come out kind of flat so far today, and because they're a much better team than what they've been showing. Just a slightly sluggish start for them. Now, props to Butler too. I mean, they've been a nice job with puck control, but for whatever reason, the Braves just seem one step slower so far today.
Here's Gousset for Bradley, and he'll pick it away. He's got numbers with him too here, Baker and Daniels. Here is Baker off the stick of Gousset as it now goes down low for Howie, the goaltender. Baker working away behind the net, also in there is Butler, rather, as Daniels has it now on the right wing. Down low, Daniels fanned on it, still trying to get it in the slot here as it's forced out of the zone. And an offside call here against the Braves. 12-17 remaining in the second period as we're almost halfway through this hockey game and still a 3-1 lead for Butler. Again, if you're just joining us, it was Butler with 2 goals in a span of about 10 seconds, I'd say, from Evan Halligan, the freshman. And then Cameron Duranick picking up the most recent goal for Butler. So face-off at center ice here as Honda will try and take it for the Braves. Off the draw, tie up, one back. And again, Barney there. Here's Daniels, just sent it wide. Maybe getting a piece there was Howie. Tough angle and a good save from Howie, but that's the best offensive chance of this period for Bradley.
Not everything Daniels wanted on that shot, but Howie did still have to make the save, and I think it kind of caught him off guard with the changeup there. It caught him by surprise when he saw how close that was to actually going on the net there. So quick reaction time for him, but
Here's another chance for this top line for the Braves. And a good jump keep by Mitch Regal there for Bradley to keep this puck in the zone. Up the wall again. Puck comes free in the slot and forced out here by Butler. Here they come across the line. Offside. I think Halligan was the one that was a little too antsy there for Butler.
Indeed he was. Jumped the gun a bit, and that's a fairly easy call, but yeah, we were talking about it earlier, alluding to the fact you're the goalie, Howie, here, and you're not getting tested a whole lot. You know, sometimes it makes it tough because your mind tends to wander a little bit. I remember reading an article of the great Henrik Lundqvist where he'd be like,
yes.
Yeah, you know what? I daydream sometimes. I'll be thinking about my wife and what's for dinner, and next thing you know, there's a puck flying at me. So
here's Butler trying to force it to the front. Bentley. Now Agnew as he works with Mitch Regal up close and personal to the camera here at ice side. Now Duranic, good maneuver there around Cornell. Has it taken away by Jack Riondo. Good play from him. Here's Riondo charging ahead. He'll flip it deep and hustle after it here for Bradley. Meanwhile, Butler takes possession as they try and move it out. Good one-touch pass as they get around Cornell. Good play from Cornell as he gets it to the boards here for Bradley. And now played up top, Agnew. Long shot. Mazurek steers it away into the corner. But I'll tell you what, this game could easily be 5-6-1 right now if it wasn't for Chris Mazurek.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been sharp so far this period. He's seeing the puck really well, and he's doing a nice job getting up top, out on the crease, and challenging the Bulldogs. That always helps when you make yourself big in net.
Run around the boards, not out as it's kept in. Here's Kroll for Butler. Now Crawford trying to get it there as they force it back deep. Good stick work from Sam Smith. Here's Smith with it now. Holding on to it. Will go down low. Backhander save and gloved up by Mink. Boy, Sam Smith, not very tall, 5'4", but uses the speed to his advantage pretty well when he's on the ice for Butler.
Absolutely. You know, he built like a jockey, but you can see why he's a hockey player because he is an excellent skater. He's got some speed to him, which is an asset on any team. You know, you never have enough speed.
Here's Baker. So flip it up, and that's into the Butler bench towards head coach Eric Gentry and company. 10:25 to go in the second period, almost halfway through the game. Again, 3-1 lead for Butler. 2 goals from Halligan, 1 from Duranic for the Bulldogs. Donzie thought he was going to get thrown there from the face-off circle, but he will take it and win it for Butler. Cycled around. Whitelaw on it. Here's Smith working against Honda, avoids the collision. Hamill trying to play it. Kroll. And now Hamill again with it there for the Braves. Finds Daniels. He'll poke it out. Hamill as well on it for Bradley as the two collide along the boards. Now down low for Hamill. He'll wrist it as he's taken down, sent it over the glass. Or off the glass, rather, for Bradley. Now in front, and they score! Zach Daniels buries it for Bradley, and the Braves get a critical goal midway through the second. It's 3-2.
Well, this is why Daniels is one of the leading scorers on this Bradley team. He knows where to be. Good goal scorers, you get to the front of the net, had his stick on the ice, right place, right time. Puck found him with a wide open cage in front of him. One of the easier goals he's probably going to get this year, but that's why he's a good goal scorer. You know, he was in the right spot, and puck found him. That's what you need. You know, get guys in front of the net.
Daniels again after it for Bradley, but again, he's been such a big contributor to this D3 team, and we'll see if he can keep it rolling here and maybe get some momentum for Bradley. There's Cornell. Gets pressured a bit by Halligan. Baker and Honda. Baker and Honda, the 2 assists on the goal from Zach Daniels. That top line for Bradley cashing that in there. Long shot from the point, held on to from Duranic. Mazurek able to make the save.
A little bit of a screen by the referee. A little bit of a screen by the referee there, but we can assure you he did in fact make the save. Despite your view of the striped shirt there.
The Zebras, as they like to call them. 3-2 lead. Bradley getting a big goal here, though, midway through the second period to keep this game at least in a chance for them to come back. Good block there as it goes to the corner. Here's Bentley. Forces it to the other side. And now over in the slot. Crawford lost an edge trying to go for it. And he'll shove it up. That puck got to get out, but it does not. And now Cornell will finally do so. And Ethan Rich into the Bradley bench for another stoppage. .8:49 to go here in the second. Again, hopefully we'll have some better luck with the internet tomorrow, and hopefully we can bring you that game live.
Gonna find a spot to sneak the ice mic too before
That's
one
right.
of the Zebras poaches it.
Yes. Yeah, that I was not very happy about that. Into the zone. Here's a backhander that's turned aside by Mazurek. On it there, Donzi, and finding Popov there as he falls to his knees. Now Smith working alongside Gavin Menk. And now Smith with it. Trying to get a lane here for Butler. Works with Gousset and Menk, and Popov with a big hit thrown. I was surprised that wasn't called. Smith toward the front. And now Popov again for Smith. That's blocked by Hamill as they continue to chop away here. Goldstein, Crawford, not Goldstein. Crawford wearing the Goldstein jersey for Bradley. And now Rich trying to make a play. Bradley having trouble getting it out here. Hamill off the boards and finally down the ice, but goodness gracious, what a sequence there from Butler.
Sam Smith had himself a heck of a shift. He was putting in work in the corner just to battle for that puck. Came free with it, worked his way to the front, able to get a shot off, and just persistence on it. You know, persistent forecheck, putting pressure on the Braves back on this end. And I think he got 2 of those shots, responsible for 2 of those. So good effort by him in the offensive end. And you look at his size, too. He was battling 2 Braves in the corner, somehow came out with that puck there. So he's definitely shifty.
Shifty indeed. 7:41 to go in the period. Here's Daniels, another wrist shot. This one's blocked as it's forced out by Butler. Here they come across the line, trying to split the middle. Here's a chance in front. Good save, Mazurek. And this is going to be blown dead as Mazurek got run into there by Molinaro. Nothing really he could do, though, to slow his momentum. Kind of a tough situation there in front of the goaltender, Mazurek, but certainly nothing intentional.
No, definitely not.
Got the
intentional or not, though, you still don't like it as a goaltender.
No.
Anyone flying in your crease, I mean, it's unwelcome.
Something to keep an eye on here for Butler. Their biggest tall defenseman, Nathan Barney, who's listed at 6'9", has been up and walking around on the concourse area in his skates, and he was grabbing his mouth area.
Yeah, he had like an ice pack or something on his jaw.
So we'll keep an eye on that, but for right now, Barney is not on the bench for Butler, and he's very noticeable out on the ice, so we have certainly noticed him not out there right now, but another whistle here.
Well, he's definitely hard to miss.
Yeah. Honda off the face-off. Molinaro in there as it got caught between the official skates. Now Molinaro finds his man, and Honda jumping on that loose puck. Good job by him to force it out as Hamill gets taken down. Molinaro and back into the zone. Here they come. Boltema, big wrister, sails high off the glass. Down low for Boltema again as he's harassed a bit by Regal. Now Boltema in the slot. Trying to pull the trigger there was Halligan. Back to the point. Bump back down low. And here is Halligan on the left wing side. Cycles it back for Molinaro. In front, that goes through the blue paint. Boltema, big wrister, gloved up no problem by Mazurek with 6:29 to go in the period.
Well, it's not as extreme as the Maryville game yet, but you get the sense Bradley's taking a lot of shots. It's almost like a fighter. The old rope-a-dope. They're hanging on the rope, you're taking your punches, and you outlast them in the end.
Well, the thing is, they're still very much in this game, 3-2.
They are one shot away from tying this thing, despite getting outshot. I think it's at least 2 or 3 to 1.
I would
in
agree.
terms of chances. They don't have the shots up, but
we'll see what Butler can do here. Bentley, wrister, trickles through the slot area, and now moved back to the point. Good play. Thrown wide to Mazurek. On the loose puck is Bentley, as Mink tries to play it there. Pull him. Or excuse me, Gousset for Bradley. That hops off a stick. Rebound in front. Mazurek makes one save. Defense trying to get it out, but cannot. Down low. Butler still passing it nicely here. Through traffic. Gousset. Riondo gets it out. Good job by Jack Riondo. He's done that a couple times this game where he's been able to get it out of the zone and clear it down. 5:40 to go in the second period. Butler leading 3-2 over these Bradley Braves here at home. Cornell works that loose puck free for Gousset, who's got one of the 2 Bradley goals. Zach Daniels the other. Ethan Rich hustling after it here for the Braves. And now played here for Mitch Regal, or excuse me, Brennan Cornell for the Braves. Cornell trying to find a teammate, but nobody open, so he'll give it away to Dylan Paulsell. Update on Barney. He's got some tape, it looks like, or bandages up on his face as he races over to the Butler bench area. Here's Donzi now into the corner for Popov behind the net. Takes a hold of it, dishes it off. Nutkovich, tight angle, saved by Mazurek. That one's going to hop out of play for another stoppage.
That seemed like a futile attempt there for Nutkovich, I think. Bad angle, covered up pretty good. And I guess you get the shot on goal to pad the stats there. But really, no, very slim chances going in. But if I had to guess a shot on goal, uneducated guess, we'll see what your opinion is. I'm going 22-8 in favor of Butler right now.
That doesn't seem too far off. I think you are pretty close. We'll see if we can get that updated maybe at the start of the third period. Daniels, meanwhile, trying to play it out. And Butler back into the zone. Good moves around the defense by Halligan. And that sails high. Now Hamill ahead for Daniels. Will scoop it out over. No, good keep actually by Butler. That one rides the rails. Regal on it. Look out, a giveaway in front as Molinaro was right at the doorstep. Good hit by Hamill to seal off that puck. Up the boards it comes for Daniels. And now Butler sending it over. Honda able to force it out of the zone with a stick. As we hit the 4-minute mark to go in the period. Here's Big Ethan Baker trying to go across. Daniels just out of the reach of him. And still jump on it for the Braves. Back to the point it goes. Hamill throws it on net in a glove save by Spencer Howie. But boy, what a chance for Baker and Daniels, and you feel like that's a missed opportunity down the stretch here in the second.
Both teams miss an opportunity. Butler gets the puck off of Bradley, turnover right in front of the net. Can't cash that home, and then Bradley on the other end. They had the numbers to pass just a bit out of reach, though. And that's one that you're kicking yourself on the bench after that shift.
Riondo trying to play it here for the Braves. Quickly moved out by Butler. 3-on-2 if they hurry, but a good defensive shutdown by Jacob Gousset. Now here's Mink with the wrist shot. That's in upstairs on Spencer Howie, who makes the save.
I actually like that by Mink, though. Just throw it on net. You know, might as well put some sort of pressure on him. Definitely a quick trigger there, but at this stage of the game, might as well throw something. You throw something on the wall, see if it sticks.
Here's Butler now, 2-on-1. Johnny Whitelaw having to defend. And all alone, that's off the glass. Boy, Whitelaw took the wrong guy and nearly made him pay. Now Gousset behind the net. Trying to move it up top. Agnew for Butler. Good play. Sent in the corner for Bentley here for Butler. And now Bentley toward the front, rolling around in front of Mazurek. Where is it? Tough angle shot by Bentley, sent high. Boy, Butler pressing hard here, but not getting anything past Mazurek. And now here's Menk into the zone. Broken up by the Butler defense. 2:45 to go in the period. Mazurek will swivel it around the boards. Ethan Baker on it, and a good play from him, but just a bit out of the reach of Whitelaw, who can't win the upper hand there. Here's Smith behind the net, looking for a open lane as he's watched by Cornell and Baker. Back to the point. That one just trickles wide. And up, run around the boards. Good keep by Donzie. Now Honda to the line. Big drive deflects, and out of the zone it will come as Baker handles it. Good to see, though, for Butler that Nathan Barney is back out on the ice after missing some time here in the second. He's a big part of this Butler team. We'll see if he can get back to his game here on the ice. Here's Hamill into the zone. Wrist shot from him, doesn't get through traffic. Left off and in the slot. Daniels, the shot pad save as Daniels gets taken down. Turnaround try from Baker. That goes up in the air as it's behind the Butler net. Braves pushing here late with about 90 seconds to go in the period. Daniels shoots, and that's off the glass, or the boards rather, behind the net. 1:24 to go in the period as it comes out for Jared Honda, and a giveaway here. Now here's Butler, the save by Mazurek on the shot there from Boltima. Honda and Hamill both in there working hard for Butler. Good play by Cornell to get it to the corner. Molinaro cutting free. Nice move in alone and sent it wide of Mazurek. Boy, you just have to think that at some point one of these bounces would go in for Butler, but not the case right now as Mazurek will leave it for Hamill. 53 seconds to play in the period. This will be no icing as it doesn't have enough juice on it. Up the boards, trying to make a play is Menk, and it's going to be an offsides against Bradley. But boy, oh boy, Butler nearly cashing in again. Seems like we've been saying that a lot.
Wow, not a whole lot of puck luck for them. We go back to another turnover for Bradley in their own zone, creating a great opportunity. And then if you go even before that, another dangerous chance in front. It was redirected twice. Puck changed directions twice on the way to the net, and Mazurek was still able to fight it off. So 2 looks that I think the Bulldogs would love a do-over on.
Chance out front. Now bump to the corner for Bentley. At the line, long shot through traffic is moved over and taken below by Agnew. Finds his man out front. Rolling around. Still picked up here. Agnew to the front. Backhander. And a glove save, Mazurek. Oh, my. Best save of the game right there from Chris Mazurek.
Wow. On his back, somehow able to snag that out of the air. Great hand-eye coordination by Mazurek. And, you know, tip of the hockey helmet to him because he's been the first star of the game so far today for the Braves.
Well, if Bradley comes back to win this game, remember that save right there from Mazurek with 12.7 seconds to go in the period. Butler keeps it in. Bentley in front. That just goes through the crease. 5 seconds to go. One last chance as it's rung around the boards. Good defense from Gousset, and that's how we'll end this second period of play. A 3-2 lead for the Butler Bulldogs. And despite the fact that Butler outplayed Bradley again, the Braves are actually outscored them that period 1-0.
They're living dangerously, that is for sure. I mean, there's never a good time to give up a goal, but at the end of a period is always so deflating, and Bradley dodged multiple bullets right there. So, you know, living on the edge here in Indiana.
Living on the edge indeed. Bradley down 3-2, only goal in that period coming from Zach Daniels for Bradley. But we'll see if Bradley can potentially tie things up and maybe take the lead in the third period. But we do appreciate you watching this on-demand broadcast here. Matt Harrington alongside Mitch Kaminski with you here in Indianapolis. Butler 3, Bradley 2 after 2. We'll step aside and be back for the third period. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Butler and Bradley, D3 ACHA hockey here on the Bradley Hockey Network. Just about ready to go for period 3. Matt Harrington alongside Mitch Kaminski. And Mitch, again, we mentioned this at the end of the second period, but Bradley is still in this game despite the fact that they've been outplayed for probably about 90% of it.
Yeah, they've taken some body blows, but they've been rolling with the punches. You know, if we keep the boxing metaphor going, they've handled it. They've handled it well. They haven't gotten discouraged, and I mean, you said it. They've been, quite frankly, they've been outplayed, but they still find themselves in a position to steal this game. I think, you know, if you're the Braves, it's just like, hey, we got 20 minutes away. We're 20 minutes away from here, and 2 shots from potentially stealing a game that we have no business winning. So why not go out there and take it? And this is, honestly, considering everything that happened, this is the ideal situation if you're Bradley.
We'll see what they can do in this period. And again, for Butler, they have Nathan Barney that is back on the ice because we saw him walking around in the concourse, but he is back on. And again, you said hard to miss him out there on the ice.
Definitely.
So good to see him back, though, for Butler.
Yeah, it definitely looked like something with his mouth, jaw injury or something. He wasn't bleeding or anything, but he did have an ice pack up there. But whatever it was, he's back out there. You know, like a true hockey player. They never stay out for long. So good to see.
Good to see indeed. Again, Bradley will move now toward the net that's closest to us here.
Yep. You know, it's funny. We always joke. We have the ongoing joke about the Owen Center and the low ceiling. And yet every rink has their settled charms, and that's one of Bradley's home field advantages. For Butler, the home ice advantage is really the cow manure smell that is so
awful.
Potent here. Definitely a good way to throw off your opponents if you're not used to it.
Yeah, if you've ever been to a game here at the Pop Weaver Youth Pavilion.
I tell you, you're missing something. Their hot dogs are delicious.
I might have to get one. Here's a chance in front denied by Howie. But going back to our manure talk, just an awful stench. Awful stench.
It's
here.
Terrible. I mean, I almost threw up said hot dog, but it was.
Well, head coach for Butler, Eric Gentry, said, yeah, you know what? It's just something you get used to over time. And I'm sure he does.
He's homesick. He said it made him feel homesick. He's used to it.
Off the faceoff, rung around the boards. I don't want to get taken out here by the puck. I'm definitely a little afraid of getting hit by one. But icing call here against the Bulldogs. So back down to the Bradley offensive zone faceoff. Haven't had a lot of these games. They need to start taking advantage of some here.
This is true. I'd imagine Honda is going to take it for him. He's been pretty good in the dot for him this season. And not a ton of luck so far today, but he's the guy you definitely want in the faceoff circle, especially for a big faceoff like this.
Here's Daniels, rips it off the draw. That's blocked. Good step-up play there from Cameron Duranick. He's got a goal, and he's helping his teammate on the defensive side of things here, too. Now taken by Bradley as they'll move ahead. Trying to get it out of the zone. That one's chipped in on Mazurek, who will let it sail wide to the corner. And now taken by Jared Honda. Up the wall. Trying to poke at it there as Daniels can't get it out. Baker harassing the player there as that goes out of play. So we'll get another stoppage. We're exactly 1 minute into the third and still a 3-2 lead for these home Butler Bulldogs. Tell you what, though, you were mentioning the low ceiling, Mitch. This ceiling here is enormously high.
It's a high ceiling. The glass is very high as well.
The ceiling's got to be, what, at least 50, 60, maybe 70 feet high?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw that stick go flying up earlier. If that's an Owen Center ceiling, there's a stick shrapnel coming down.
Oh,
that stick is definitely snapping, or it's a disaster. I mean, here, you got some room to operate.
Definitely do. 18:45 to go in the third here, so we'll have an icing against the Braves.
No, listen, that being said, hockey's a game you don't need a particularly high ceiling, but I guess it helps in this case.
Off the draw. Hamill rings it around, can't get it out. Good keep. Long shot fanned on from Mora, and now taken by the shifty Sam Smith. Here's Smith down low for Butler. Looking for an open lane. He'll bank it up top. A little bit too fast for Barney, but he just kept it in right at the line. Good keep. Now back to the point. Here's Smith. Loads it up. Patted away by Missouri. And to the line is, looks like Menk got knocked down, or Rich rather, for Bradley. On the loose puck there is Butler. Barney keeps it in. Finds the stick of Smith. Over it goes for Mora. He's also got some height to him, 6'3". Mora creeping in for Butler. And now around the outside here as it's cycled back below the goal line. Hamill whacking away with Gavin Menk there for the Braves. And now a long shot thrown to the net area as it's pinched in. Good play by Paul Sell. Paul Sell moving from forward to defenseman about midway through the season for Butler. And it's been a good payoff for him so far. We're going to get an icing here against Butler, so back down to Bradley offensive zone territory here, 17:21 to go in the third.
Another offensive zone face-off, so Bradley took him a while to get down to this end. Why not stay here a little longer? The camera angle is much better on this side.
It really is, I will say that. Honda off the draw. This one's going to go back to the point, but it can't be handled by Gousset, who instead has to leave it at the line. Back into the zone. Honda drops it for Baker. Here's Baker's save there by Howie, and cleared out by Nutkovich, who will airmail this thing down the ice. And no icing. That's a perfect clear right there from Nutkovich. Now the Braves on it here on the right wing boards. Just missed the stick of Zach Daniels, who jumps on it though. Here's Zach Daniels and scores! Zach Daniels ties it. His second of the game. It's 3-3.
That was a good piece of goal scoring right there from Zach Daniels. Works his way in and buries it top shelf.
How about that?
Yeah, that's just a goal scorer, doing what he does best, getting to the front of the net, and a little bit more challenging than the first goal he had, but they both count all the same. But yeah, what a nice move from him to work his way in front.
Well, Daniels picks up his second of the game. I've lost track of how many multi-goal games he's had this year, but it's a lot.
He's had a bunch. One of those games was against Butler in the second game of the season.
Butler trying to go in. Good save there from Missouri. Rolling around in the slot. It's loose. Cleared out to the line, but not out of the zone. Long shot from Duranic. Step-up block from Garrett Hamill. Making a big play there for Bradley, as now it's forced right back into the zone. Mitch Riegel on it there for the Braves. As the Bulldogs continue to press after the goal. We saw this after the first Bradley goal of the game, and we're seeing it again as a little bit of a pushback here from the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, here's Ethan Baker across the line. Baker shoots, and that goes up in the air. Glove down by Daniels, who's on hat trick watch here for Bradley. Daniels, big contact there as it's worked away. Agnew in there with Baker. Towards the front, that goes wide of Howie as it's picked up by Menk. Drilled into the boards, comes free. Chopped at and out of the zone. Whitelaw right back into the hands of Riondo, who will let it go for Cornell. Off a stick, picked up by Paul Sell, who looks for a lane. Passes up ahead, and here come the Bulldogs into the zone. Brett Barnhart, number 14, across the line. And that, off the post. You could hear it from down here. A good chance for Butler. Now Barney in a foot race here with David Crawford, as Barney will slow it down. The big, tall drink of water for these Butler Bulldogs. Menk lost his stick back in the Bradley zone, and we're going to have an icing call here against the Bulldogs.
Well, the team movie on the bus ride up was the Jim Carrey version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Absolutely abysmal film, but this is about to be how the Braves stole a hockey game here, the way this thing's shaping up.
We got a lot of time left
we
still,
are
Mitch.
knotted at the fact that we are knotted at 3, though, I mean, the Braves have been in the giving mood with some of the turnovers and penalties, and Butler's returned the favor. Both these teams helping each other out.
Here's Barney now ahead as Baker tries to play it for Bradley. Giveaway, look out. Here's a chance for Butler at the other end, intercepted by Baker. Uses his stick nicely there. Baker ahead. Here's Daniels again. Daniels alone. Glove save, Howie. And he makes a critical save on Zach Daniels. Boy, once again, they let Daniels escape in alone, but Howie comes up with the save this time. Back the other way. Here is Paulsell into the zone. Dylan Paulsell holding on to it now on the forehand. Throws it toward the front. Mazurk, the save, cleared down by the Braves as they get a little chance to breathe here 6 minutes into this third period. Honda over, trying to get it for Bradley as it's Ethan Rich on it there. Snapshot steered away to the corner by Mazurek. Gousset out there and now moved out by Rich as Butler takes possession again here. Good pass across the line. Here come the Bulldogs into the zone. Snapshot in on goal. Mazurek the save. Rebound in front. Scramble for it here. And Crawford, look at him go. Put on the Jets. As here's David Crawford. Avoids the contact. Sticks with it. And rolls to Spencer Howie. Tell you what, though, that's a terrific play by David Crawford. Gets the puck out of the zone. Sticks with it all the way toward the other end. And we've got a lot of pushing and shoving here as Molinaro and Rich got after it. And I think Molinaro's going to the box here.
And he's doing some barking with the official, which is he's got to be careful.
He really does.
He got his money's worth on the way to the box. I think anymore might have been tacking on another 2 minutes. But you go back to that one save from Howie with Daniels coming down the barrel. I mean, you think he's shaking in his boots right there. Guy on hat trick watch already burned him twice, and he made a phenomenal glove save right there. Did not flinch.
Big chance here for Bradley on this power play. Daniels over for Gousset. The shot there, gloved away by Howie. Hamill can't get to that puck as it will escape the grip of Gousset, and back for Baker. Roughing for Molinaro on the penalty. He's lucky, though, he didn't get more than that. And we'll see what Bradley can do here. Baker trying the toe drag move. That didn't work out. Now a short-handed chance. Here's Bentley racing in across. Mazurek the save. And a whistle there. Wow, what a stop.
Yeah, it helped that I don't think he got all he could on that shot. I think he was rushing, realizing he had a couple Braves creeping up on him, so just kind of flipped it on net there, which made Mazurek's job a little bit easier, but still don't want to give up that short-handed goal. And another nice save for him.
1:28 to go on the Bradley power play. Here they come into the neutral zone. Dumped in deep. Mazurek will help leave it, but a good play by Baker to get back defensively. That came up rather quickly.
I like the effort from Butler there, though. You know, you clear it, and then they go chase their own clearing attempt, putting pressure on Bradley.
Hamill trying to throw the body, nearly threw somebody into the bench. And boy, bodies are hitting the ice all over the place here in this third period.
Bradley had a legit case for a trip right there. Happened right in front of their bench. And
maybe a little bit of an acting job by Garrett Hamill, but regardless.
Quite possibly, and I think we've seen our fair share of acting, but I think that one that he may have had a case. His stick definitely got
it does make me wonder if we've got any
up there.
Theater majors out on the ice tonight with some of the selling of the calls that we've seen from both teams. It's not just Bradley or just Butler, but both teams.
Hey, you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. That's what I say.
Bradley into the offensive zone here. Here's Baker. Shoots. That deflects off the stick of Paulsell. Baker staying with it. Back up top for Jared Honda. Dips it over for Baker. Turnaround try. Blocked away by Duranic as Daniels is in on the loose puck. Here is Daniels toward the front. That rings around the boards. And Bentley will get it down again with 23 seconds to go on the power play for Bradley. Up the boards. Hamill has to go back in his defensive end. See if Bradley can get one last push here on this power play chance. 10 seconds to go on it. Here comes Bradley. Butler back to full strength. as Gousset takes a ride hard into the boards from Mora. That goes off the glass high. Daniels sticking with it. Now Gousset waits for it. Backhands it weakly to the corner. Riondo after it for Bradley, but it's picked up by Butler. Here they come with speed. This is Mora into the zone. Trying to dance around the stick of Gousset as Morrow sticks with it. Fluttered to the front, rolling around, and they score! Mazurek was down, and Mora buries it, and Butler has their lead back. It's 4-3. Nothing really Mazurek could do there, Mitch. He was down, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, this has been building since, I think, late in the first period. They've had a bunch of opportunities and just hadn't been able to cash in on one, and finally the dam breaks, so to speak. But luckily for the Braves, their experience from playing from behind, so in this game, I should say.
Nearly another chance there for Baltimore. Now a wrist shot from the point, sticked away by Mazurek. But we're seeing what we saw after the first Butler goal, and that's the foot's not coming off the gas pedal. They're sticking with it.
Yeah, I think that when Bradley tied it, it was kind of their, kick in the pants all of a sudden. Like, all right, we're going to have to crank it back up a notch. I think they kind of went into a little bit of a lull to come out of that third. And, yeah, we're seeing it here.
Wrist shot right off the draw, scooped up by Mazurek for another stoppage. 10:29 to go in the third.
Well, I think Butler also realizes at this point, too, an insurance goal would be huge because this Bradley team's not going to quit. They're not going down easy, especially clawing their way back from down 3-1. So an insurance goal would be huge if you're the Bulldogs.
Bradley trying to get it out of the zone here as it's off a Butler glove. Whitelaw hops off. Oh, bad bounce for Bradley. Wrist shot blockered away by Mazurek. Great save from him. His defense just got a bad bounce there off the glass. Now Honda looking for Daniels ahead, but that doesn't get through the sea of beige. And now here comes Butler. Mazurek sticked away. It's still up in the air in the slot. Rolling around. Mazurek's finally got a hold of it. And a stoppage here again.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that first shot popped up, and he just lost sight of it right in front of the net. Dangerous area, and luckily for him, no one could really locate the puck, but that could have spelled disaster for the Braves.
All Butler the last 3 or 4 minutes in this hockey game. Under 10 to play, so we're halfway through the third period. Off the draw, Bulldogs win it, and they'll play it around in the slot. The shot glove saved Mazurek. Honda down on his knees to try and get it out, and Daniels able to get it up in the air. Sticking with it is Baker as he gets tangled up near the Butler bench. Daniels, and now Butler still whacking away here as it's Honda who gets it over for the Braves. Bank pass, fired in deep by Honda. Back behind the Butler net. Baker trying to whack at it here. Honda also in. Mora, the recent goal scorer, has got it as he'll find his man Barnhart on the left wing side. Here's Barnhart. Deposits it back for Bentley as he works with Whitelaw. Now Bradley trying to get it out. Gavin Menk had it go off his stick as Bradley pushes it ahead. Whitelaw back for Gousset. Braves trying to get organized here in their defensive end. But going backwards here. Now Daniels gave it away. Chance for Butler. That's going to come out. That was right on the line, but Mora not able to keep it in another whistle for an offside.
As much as we talked about how good Butler's passing's been tonight, that was not an example of it. A little sloppy near the blue line. I think if you're going to have an offsides, those are almost the worst, too. Everyone's all set up, and you just mishandle a pass, and then it's like, really? And then you get those looks from your teammates as you're heading back to the bench. Well, speaking from experience, that is, for me.
That one sticked away by Regal in front of the net there for Bradley. Time winding down here in the third. Good move by Smith, and Mazurek the stop. And it's handled by the Braves as they push it out. But right now, it seems like Bradley's almost out of gas. There just doesn't seem to be a whole lot left in the tank for the Braves. And we'll see if they can change that here in the course of the last 8:14 or so. Down the ice it goes. Braves trying to play it along the boards. Crawford in there for Bradley. He's had some good defensive plays in the game. Now Menk lost in the wickets. Turnover. Mazurek jumps on it right away for a stoppage.
Boy, he's been covering a lot of – he's bailed out his teammates on multiple occasions. We'll put it that way. There's been quite a few turnovers in front of the net where he's really bailed out his he's bailed out a couple of teammates here tonight.
He sure has. If Butler can hold on, by the way, Mitch, they have 3 wins on the season. 2 of them were at Bradley back in September. And the third one was their last weekend when they were down in Springfield, Missouri as part of the Route 66 showcase. They beat the Kansas Jayhawks, and here they score again. 5-3 lead now for Butler after that one gets pounded home. And there's that insurance goal you were talking about, Mitch, to make it 5-3.
Yeah, definitely critical goal for Butler. Makes the breathing room makes things a lot easier for them with the last 7:44, which goes without saying. Now, if I'm Bradley, I'm interested, and obviously you still have plenty of time to try and get back in it, but when do they decide to pull the goalie? Do you go near just watching how your offense is operated all night, closer to the 3 or 4 minute mark? We will see, but regardless, Bradley's going to have to get something going and in a hurry.
Here come the Bulldogs again. Mora into the zone. Shoots it on, sticked away, and out of play. But as I was mentioned earlier, Mitch, Butler, 3 wins on the year, 2 of them against Bradley, and the other coming against the Kansas Jayhawks as part of the Route 66 showcase. So if they could get it going, they'd have 3 of their 4 wins against Bradley. I'd say that's pretty good, but certainly not something you'd like to hear if you're a Bradley Braves fan.
No, you don't want to end the season in a four-game sweep, and they got the better of them in the first 2, as you mentioned. So, Bradley playing for pride here at this point, too, because they're not that far behind this team in terms of talent.
Oh, saved by Mazurek at first, but it goes in, and now Butler really in command here, 6-3.
And you can almost feel it that the one goal, that insurance goal was just kind of a backbreaker for Bradley. Really kind of deflated their energy, so to speak. And Butler's starting to pour it on, but.
Well, this was the final score in the second game of the season between these two teams. 6-3 back on September 11th.
An eerily similar game, too, for how it turned out. And that one, Butler jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Bradley clawed their way back, made it 4-3 at one point. And then Butler pulled away at the end, and we'll see what the whistle is here.
We're going to get a cross-checking minor on Duranic as Ethan Rich was able to draw the penalty for the Braves. So a chance for Bradley to maybe get some life here in the third. We'll see what they can do. But Barnhart getting the most recent goal for the Bulldogs, and for him, that is goal number 4 on the season, which is up there in terms of their team leaders. Offensive zone face-off here for Bradley on the power play. Good win by Honda. There's Daniels. Finds Gousset. Across for Baker. Ethan Baker now for Jared Honda, and back up top for Baker. Dished off for Honda. Looking for a backdoor feed to Gousset. Good keep though by Baker. Baker across for Daniels. Pressured a bit, spins away from the trouble. Daniels working it toward the front. Good save from Howie as Regal finds his man. Across, that's going to bounce off of Daniels and into the neutral zone. Braves hit the reset button here. Baker, good speed, across the line, shoots it in on goal, and Howie steers it away toward the corner. Down the ice it will go as Ethan Baker stays out there for the Braves. Just off the stick of Regal. Now Paul Sell will aim it down towards the Bradley bench. And it will go for Missouri here with under 6 to play and under 1 minute to go in the Bradley penalty kill. Or excuse me, the Bradley power play on the penalty by Cameron Duranick for Butler. There's Hamill, finds Gousset. Just out of the reach of Regal, who will steer it away toward the corner. Regal trying to find his man. Hamill up top over for Menk. Good move from Menk. Tight angle and a great save by Howie. Oh my. Now Hamill another drive. That's blocked and cleared down. Boy, you had a better angle than I did there, Mitch, but I don't know how that puck didn't go in.
I don't either. He just reached back and somehow got a glove on it. But that thing was labeled for the back of the net.
8 seconds to go on the Bradley power play. Butler sticks with it. Shot on goal, or rather shot goes wide. And now Butler at full strength as Duranick comes charging over to the Butler bench. Under 5 minutes to go as Bradley trails 6-3 here to Butler. Apologies, I had the score wrong earlier in the third period that said 5-3 Bradley was in favor. They are not. They are down now 6-3 to these Butler Bulldogs. Now over Moroff for a teammate. Barnhart thrown in on goal by Donzie, and that is a whistle and a stoppage for offside here against the Bulldogs. Tell you what, Mitch, one of the things that you and I both noticed is they've got the blue goalposts here on the net tonight. Very similar to what you see in the ECHL with the blue goalposts. And of course, there's an ECHL team right in town here in Indianapolis, the Indy Fuel.
A fine organization.
There's a chance for Butler. That goes wide of Missouri. Barney toward the front. That trickles wide. Tough angle shot denied again by Missouri. He has played very well in goal tonight for Bradley.
Now, you a fan of the blue post, or you more of a red post type of guy?
You know what? I like the mix-up. I do, honestly. I think it looks pretty good. Butler trying to come back into the zone, and now Whitelaw steps up for Paul Sell. Perfect pass ahead for Bentley. Fakes the slap shot, tries to get around the defender. Still whacking away as Agnew. And now back to the point. That's thrown toward the front. Loose in the slot. Cleared up to the line. And Crawford will stick it deep. This will not be an icing. Officials wave it off as Duranick has it. Bank back for Whitelaw. And over for Baker. Working with Daniels. Picked off. Good speed. Molinaro into the zone. Wrist it. Blocked. Now follow-up try. Pad save. Rebound. And that's cleared by Mink to the line. Good play by Gavin Mink here. Now Daniels knocked to his knees. Boltema quickly jumps on the loose puck. Boltema weaving through traffic. Drops it back. Able to get the shot off and steered away by Missouri. Back to Zach Daniels here now for Bradley. And that's going to go off the glass behind the net. Baker trying to get on the loose change here. 2:27 to go. Butler leading 6-3 over Bradley. They have 3 unanswered goals. It was 3-3 earlier in this period. Now Baker outnumbered. Here's Ethan Baker trying to find a man at the point. Regal has it go off his stick. And down with 2:05 to go as Bradley resets. Well, this game, Mitch, probably out of reach for Bradley. But certainly it's going to be about turning the corner and getting ready for tomorrow's contest, because we can see that they've been able to hang with them throughout the course of the game, and I think it's just about putting together a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, and if you're the Braves, too, I mean, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourselves. You know you didn't play your best game at all, and you were still very within striking distance of pulling this one out. You know, they pulled away a little bit late, but Bradley was right there hanging in with them. I think you play more of a complete game tomorrow, and the Butler's going to have their hands full.
Mank with the shot off the mask of Spencer Howie. And you could hear the rattle immediately from the puck.
Who needs the ice, Mike?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I would like it. But
I agree.
You know,
we'll zoom in on the culprit right there. I'm just kidding. We'll put that guy.
Well, here's what I'll say about that, right? If you're going to take our hot mic away, what is something that you would say that would not be okay to air? Like, if you're going to take it away, it just doesn't make sense to me. Got to have a good reason for it. The referee shouldn't be saying anything that can't be aired over the internet. That's what I would say.
I would agree there, too, but.
Oh, well.
What are you going to do?
Back the other way, Butler trying to get one more here with a minute to go in this third period. Back behind the net. So Butler with a really good performance over the second half of this third period. And we'll see how Bradley responds again tomorrow. Perhaps a little bit low on the fuel tank here tonight for Bradley, but have an opportunity to get some good rest tonight and hit the reset button tomorrow for game number 2. That goes down the ice for icing here against the Braves with 30.8 seconds to go in the period. Again, the D2 team is in action tonight against the Maryville Saints. And if you're looking for a stream, I believe there will be one on the Maryville Saints Hockey YouTube channel. So there's maybe something to do if you're looking for something to do this weekend and you're a Bradley hockey fan. Now out of the zone it comes, as here comes Ethan Rich. Outnumbered, shoveled to the behind the net area as it's Molinaro now ahead for Paul Sell. Honda keeps the line for a moment before it's pushed back. 8 seconds to go, one last push from Butler. Braves will jump on the loose puck. 3 seconds too, and a last second save from Mazurk. And that'll do it. The Butler Bulldogs pull away in the third period for a 6-3 win over the Bradley Braves. But Braves outplayed in this game pretty significantly. They hung around, made it interesting. They tied it at 3. But once Butler realized it was 3-3, they kind of thought to themselves, well, we really should be ahead. And they closed it that way with a 3-goal win.
And props to Butler. I mean, they responded every time they needed to give up the early goal. What do? They respond with 2 quick ones by themselves. Braves knotted up in the third after they were up 2 goals. What do? They come right back and respond. They're really lightning strikes, too. When they seem to get one, they would come in bunches. So good effort from Butler. I think if you're Bradley, it just looked like a case of I don't think they had their legs completely under them, and so like you mentioned, you get a night's sleep. You come back out tomorrow, and you're ready to get that taste of losing out of your mouth.
We'll see if the Braves can respond tomorrow and at least salvage one game. But Butler has officially won the season series now between these teams. They have won 3 of the first and 4 meetings, so a good sign moving forward for the Bulldogs, but a complete effort from them tonight. They got some good goaltending as well from Spencer Howie, and we'll see if Bradley can respond tomorrow afternoon. That's an 11:30 Eastern start, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it to you live here on the Bradley Hockey Network. But again, a 6-3 final. Mitch Kaminski, any final thoughts here before we sign off?
Well, you're looking to avoid a season sweep tomorrow, so there is plenty to play for despite the fact the season series is lost. So get your rest. We will see you back here tomorrow morning.
Butler wins 6-3 over Bradley. Thanks for watching this presentation of the Bradley Hockey Network. Alongside Mitch Kaminski, I'm Matt Harrington saying so long from Indianapolis.